All right. Welcome to the November Energy Update. We are Peyton, Corey, and myself, Yaila, and we bring three different perspectives to talk about what is possibly to come for the month. And this month, we're looking at November 2023. Peyton connects to the Pleiadians, the High Council, and she has channeled messages from them. Corey does the astrology report, talking about where all the planets are and where their alignment is. And I tap into the collective energy and do a general collective energy reading for the group. So let's go ahead and start with you, Peyton. What do the P's have to say?
Thanks so much, Yaila. Hello, everyone. I'm Peyton, and I channel the Pleiadians. So when I checked in with the P's to see what we can expect the energies of the next couple of weeks, the first thing they wanted to do was tell us what these energies are going to feel like. And the way they referred to it kind of made me laugh. They said these energies are sneaky. So what they mean by that is that these energies are going to feel very, very strong, even if we don't see a lot of solar energy. We don't see a lot of activity necessarily on the Schumann resonance. These energies are going to be much stronger than our tools lead us to believe. So the way these may show up in our bodies, according to the P's, is we may notice some intense activity in our second chakra. So you may notice you've got things going on in that second chakra region that are more unusual than what you're used to. And they also said that these energies may feel very buzzy, very almost electrical in nature. And they say it is also very common in these energies to feel maybe some sharp pains in our body, just random pains popping up here and there. And I am definitely noticing this. So this is something that the P's say is common in these energies. So let us know in the comments below how you're doing in these energies, what they are feeling like to you, because we always like to hear how this is landing in y'all's lives. Now, the message that they had for us for November was to tell us that what we are seeing now in the energies is huge manifestation of the separation of timelines. So what that just means is people are going to be having very different experiences based on the timeline that they are on. So the P said that for a lot of light workers and starseeds, they're going to find the energies starting to feel amazing, that we are going to start to feel a lot of peace, a lot of calm, a lot of well-being. And you may be noticing this already in the past couple of weeks as the end of October has rolled through. And what the Pleiadians had to say about this is that for a lot of light workers and starseeds, this is proof of the timeline you're on, that all of that density, some of that chaos and the drama in the world is not a vibrational match to you anymore. So what you're going to notice is your experience is starting to get easier. You're just starting to feel better because the drama just goes around you. You're not a match to it. Now, the second thing the P's had for us, if you are not falling into that category of finding your life getting more peaceful, more calm, is they said there can be two things going on. Now, if you are noticing a lot of chaos in your life right now, especially if it is chaos, upheaval that is really affecting you personally. So not what you're seeing in the world around you, but you're just experiencing maybe more negative manifestations than usual. According to the P's, what can be happening in these energies is you are getting a reflection of where you still have healing work to do. So if that is happening to you, your personal life has gotten a bit choppy. What the P's encourage in these energies is to look at what is coming up for you, look at those negative manifestations, what has got you in a twist, and identify the theme. So it maybe you notice that everyone is getting mad at you. And that may just mean that you have unconscious anger that you haven't yet integrated. So this is something that you can do if you're noticing that you're still having a lot of just drama in your personal life. And that is just the universe reflecting to you where you have opportunities to do more healing work. Now, there's a second category of things that are happening in these energies when people are still struggling. And according to the Pleiadians, this applies to people who are feeling very agitated, very on edge, in a lot of fear, but nothing is really manifesting in their personal life. So their personal life is okay. Things are pretty stable, but they're still finding that they're very distressed by what's going on in the world. So if you fall into this category, what the P's have said may be happening is that we have gotten a little sloppy with our focus. So they say a lot of light workers and starseeds are kind of falling into this category because they're placing their attention on the negativity around them. So if this tends to be you, if you notice that you're feeling very agitated, but your life is kind of okay, it's not really in your face in your personal life, this may be a sign that you are just placing your attention on lower timelines. So one thing you can do, if this might be you, is to just look at the sources of information you are spending your time with. Are you spending a lot of time following negative news stories? Are you spending a lot of time following people online, on social media, who are spreading the fear narrative? We have so much of that even in the spiritual community right now. So if you are noticing you're feeling a lot of agitation, but it's not actually in your life as a manifestation, a lot of times what is happening is we're giving our attention, without realizing it, to lower vibrational timelines. And what happens if we do that a lot is we start to match that timeline. So that is one reason that we may be feeling kind of out of sorts. And this can be helped just by being more vigilant in where we place our attention, starting to put down that phone, turn off the TV, anything that is kind of feeding a, constant stream of negativity into your life. Because over time, we start to match the energy of that. So we want to just kind of be on top of that, because that can keep you from being on your highest timeline. Now, there is one last thing that the Pleiadians wanted to talk to us about for the November energies, and that is to tell us what this month is all about energetically. And so according to the Pleiadians, this is a month of harvesting energy. And that's kind of a weird term, right? When they first started saying that, I'm like, what are they talking about? Although it is, Thanksgiving time, Halloween time is, at hand. So we're certainly in harvest time. But what they're referring to is this is time to pull back our energy from anything that doesn't feel good. So whatever is stressing you out in your life, whether it is a personal manifestation or just what is going on in the world, they're encouraging us to pull that source of irritation into your heart. Just turn it over to your higher self. Because as you do that, you do a very important thing. You strip the negative imprinting off of it. And what happens is you dissolve that negative manifestation because you are reclaiming your energetic investment. Because a lot of us, when we hear these stories or have some bumps in our personal life, we start to resist it. We start to get angry. We start to get frustrated. We start to get scared. And if we are in resistance, what happens is we are feeding that thing. We are keeping the form of that manifestation in our experience. So what they are encouraging us to do in November is to pull out our energetic investment from anything that you don't want to continue to play with. So take anything that is stressing you out and just pull it into your heart. Super simple. And as you do that, you start to dissolve that manifestation. And this works both on your personal issues and it works on anything happening in the world. So it's a super, super powerful tool for us. So November is going to be all about recalling your energy, harvesting your energy, so that you are pulling it out of anything you don't want to continue to support. So these are very powerful energies for us over the coming month. And we are going to start to see just huge differences in the experiences people are having depending on the timeline they have chosen. So that is what we are looking at for the month of November. Corey, what do we have in the November astrology?
Well, hello. My name is Corey, and I'll be giving you the astrology for November 2023. And thank you, Peyton. I always love what the P's have to say. And interestingly enough, the astrology supports what the P's had to say. So the beginning of the month, we are in Scorpio season. So Scorpio represents intimacy, manipulation, intensity, can have a tendency to be crisis orientated. So that will be the first part of November. And we have a lot of planets in Scorpio. We will have on the 9th, or no, actually it's on the 13th. The sun, the moon, the Mars are all going to be in Scorpio. So we have a lot of intense energies in November. I'll say it as I'm a broken record. I feel like I'm a broken record. But we are nearing closer and closer to entering the Aquarian age. So as we get closer to this Aquarian age, things are going to get more and more intense because we have a lot of clearing to do before we can enter into the age of Aquarius. We're right at the precipice. So Scorpio is going to help us it's going to intensify things so that we can do some of that clearing work, some of the stuff that needs to be no longer part of our paradigm moving forward. So we also have in the beginning of November, before I say that, the second half is going to be in Sag. So we have Scorpio season in the beginning and Sagittarius in the second part of November. And that starts on the 22nd of November. So Sag, enthusiastic, fun, travel, the philosopher, laughter, optimistic. Those are the energies of Sagittarius. So the second half, though, we still do have some other energies that are intensifying all that. I believe that Sagittarius will help to lighten that intensity, be able to have a lighter attitude about the intensities that are going on. Pardon me. So November 4th, Saturn, that has been in retrograde in Pisces, is going direct. So Saturn is the restrictor. Saturn is the principle that says, young man, young lady, where have you been? Holding us accountable and making us responsible for our actions. And it's in the sign of Pisces, which is a water sign. So Pisces is like the mystic, the fish. So Saturn is going to go direct in Pisces. So our logical mind, because Saturn is logical, and because Pisces is watery, and it's the two fish, swimming in opposite directions, our logic might get a little distorted. And it might be a little bit more difficult to be logical. So that starts November 4th. Mm-hmm. And on the 8th, Venus will enter Libra. Love, love, love. So Venus is one of the ruling planets, or is the ruling planets of Libra. It also rules Taurus. And Libra is the sign of relationships and justice. And so with Venus being in Libra, it loves being in Libra. So get your flirt on. That's definitely going to happen. And the sun will also be in Scorpio. So it could be some intense flirting, if you so choose. And November 9th, Mercury enters Sagittarius. Mercury is the communication planet, and Sagittarius is the philosopher, the traveler. Lots of ideals, what ideals you might have. And Mercury will help express those. So writing. Sometimes we get the best results when we do writing. Our thoughts are put down on writing. Restraint of tongue to pen, because Sagittarius is the sign of open mouth, insert foot. I know I have like 4 planets in Sag. So it's something I've had to work on personally. So writing is a great way to get your thoughts, your feelings, your ideals out without having to spew it on somebody else, unless, of course, they ask. So from November 11th to the 13th, 14th of November, because we have Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Mars. Sun is the life force, Moon is the emotions, Mars is our output energy. Mars is also, the warrior planet. It's fire, it's feisty. It can be big. Be careful. Be careful, because this is a time from about the 11th. So you could probably say, yep, maybe from the 9th, 10th, 11th to the 13th, 14th. We have a tendency to be, or have the ability to be accident prone, because Sagittarius rarely watches where they're going. So if you know a Sagittarius, look at their shins, because they're always bumping into things, because they're always like enthusiastic out, oh, just go over there, bump. So just a word of caution from the 11th, 9th, 10th, 11th to the 13th, 14th. Be careful. That means even driving a car, slow down a bit. It's a very, very, very accident prone energy. And then on the 22nd, the sun enters Sag. Yay. So that's where the fun comes in. Sagittarius love to have fun. On the 24th, Mars enters Sagittarius. So if you're thinking about travel plans, the second half of November, which, we're going to have it here in America, we have Thanksgiving. So oftentimes families will travel to go see family or friends, but the urge will be there because Mars will enter Sag, and Sag is a fire sign. Mars rules, is fire, masculine output energy. And then we have on the 27th, Venus is going to conjunct, which means they become one energy with the South Node in Libra, which is the ruling planet. So the South Node is what we're clearing. The things that come up could be, Libra also can rule codependency, sacrificing yourself, your needs, your wants, your true inner self for a partner or for work or for anything else. And so with Venus there, the love planet, right, which rules it, we're being called to not sacrifice our own needs and wants for the sake of, or the betterment of somebody else, that we sacrifice our own needs, self-sacrificing. And then on the 27th of November, Mars and the Sun will join forces in Sagittarius. So output Mars, Sun and Sag. If you get a little itchy to travel and go, it's a good time to do it. But you'll have to be, slow and steady. Sag is like, I'm out of here. You know what? I'm just out of here. I don't care if the house is dirty. I don't care if my car isn't full tank. We'll get it, when we need it. But because of these strong energies, just be mindful. Just be mindful. It's like walking in a landmine. You want to be mindful where you're walking. Just don't want to. The Sag would just be like, it's fine, just walk into the landmines. I got this, no problem. And, probably would make it to the other side because Sag, ruling planet Jupiter's very lucky. It's a lucky sign. But you don't want to hit any landmines. And last but not least, we have a new moon in Scorpio, November 13th. So that is around that accident-prone time in November. It's in Scorpio, and it also is conjunct with Mars, that output energy. So the new moon is in Scorpio. As if we didn't have enough huge energies, we are no longer in eclipse season. This new moon is going to be big energy because we have Mars in Scorpio. So, and we have some other aspects to it that represent money, resources. So this new moon in Scorpio is going to be big energies. New moons are about manifesting. So it will be a good time to manifest. Then on the 27th of November, we have a full moon in Gemini, but there's lots of aspects to it. It's going to be, there's lots of square aspects, which make it difficult, a challenge. And Gemini rules, the media, maybe communication. I think what we're going to hear is a lot of things that have been communicated around the world through media, because Gemini's the twins, so there's two sides to it. I think we're gonna there'll be a lot of communication about one story and lots of different ways in which it happened. So we have a lot of confusing energies in November. The main thing is, as the P's said, don't get distracted. We are heading towards the Aquarian age. The saying, it's like, you are what you eat. Well, we're in also the energies of you are what you think. Thoughts become things because the veil is so thin in Scorpio season. That October, November, at least the first half, the veil's very thin. And so we are at big choice points, though we've really already made our choices. Do we want division and fighting? Because we have a lot of Mars in November, the warrior planet. Or do we want unity, peace, love, Aquarian age? I know that sounds so silly. But we don't have to engage in the chaos that's going on. There will be a lot of chaos in the world. But we get to choose whether we want to feed it or feed a destiny that is calling for us at this time on this planet. This destiny of unity, togetherness, not being separate, not being at war with one another, but being as one on this planet Earth. As above, so below. And so that's what we're being called to do. Even though it's intense and it's going to be chaos, You don't have to feed it, just like the peas said. So that is the report for November 2023. Be good to yourself, stay in the love vibration. So how about you, Yaela?
Thank you so much, ladies. I always love what you both like to add to the mix. So, of course, if you've tuned into the videos before, I just tap into the general collective energy as we film. So let me just get myself prepared. Might have my eyes closed from time to time because I get visions in my mind. So let me just tap into the collective really fast. All right. And I always like to ask for a blessing. Everyone tuning into this video receives the information and insights for their highest and best good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guide me with clarity and accuracy. All right. So definitely getting two really strong colors for the collective. The first one is that orange color. Believe the P spoke into that. I'll expand on what orange is representing for the collective, and lots of green. So when I get colors, many times it correlates to our body chakras, and orange is the sacral chakra. It's the second chakra. So let me ask why orange is being highlighted. The strongest word they're bringing in is creative. And something I've been seeing a lot with my clients lately is your manifestations are being manifested extremely fast, faster than usual. So this really strong creative energy that you are able to tap into and harness is going to help you manifest things into your reality at lightning speed, is what I'm hearing. So again, being mindful, I shouldn't say again, but the other ladies were speaking into your thoughts are creating your reality. So you have a lot more power than maybe you've realized you've had in the past, and the energy is supporting that. Let me ask why else orange is coming in for the collective. And it's there. What the guides are saying for me is it's tapping into also what you love to create, what you love about your energy, where you're sharing your energy, where you're sharing your gifts, where you're sharing what you create. Because even with the world around us in its different energy flows, and I'm hearing the word turmoil, you're still able to create what you love in your own inner world. And so remembering that, you get to create what you love, regardless of what can be happening for other people and other places. When I'm tapping into the green color for the collective, it's all about relationships, and it's amplifying also who you love. So not just what you love, but who you love, including yourself. So what are you loving about yourself? What are you loving to share with the world? What are you loving in your relationships? What are you loving about other people? It's really about manifesting what also you love about your relationships and yourself. So two really fun energies that you get to work with if you so choose. Again, it's your choice on which end of the spectrum, right? Because I believe Abraham Hicks has a great way of saying everything has two sides, right? You can think of the high side, the low side, the positive, the negative, the light, the dark, pros and cons to all different dynamics out there, but you can always choose which one you want to play in. So if you want to play in that higher side of that second chakra energy, that heart energy, you can be a very powerful manifester. And I think they're having me break that down again, because you can also play in the low side. So what would be the low side to the second chakra energy? A lot of times it can be distraction in desires is the word that I'm hearing. So connecting to relationships, you can distract yourself with certain energies by fulfilling desires that aren't in the highest alignment, meaning sleeping with people who maybe not be the best for you, going into like substances that, in a week or so or a day or so, you're really going to regret being in that energy. What would be the low side of relationships? Before we started filming, the ladies and I were talking about sometimes when we look at situations that can pop up, we're looking through a lens of previous trauma, and relationships can stir up some of those old trauma energies that are still in our space. And so the low side to relationships is we can be confronted with things that are ready to heal. But if we are playing in that quote unquote lower vibration, sometimes we look at it through the lens of previous trauma and we assume people are doing things intentionally to hurt us, which I find is normally not the case. 99.9% of the time, people in our lives, especially those close relationships, are not trying to hurt us. So just remember that when things do pop up and the energies can get intense for people, just know if there is a conflict, it's probably not to make you feel bad or they're intentionally trying to hurt you. It could be you're looking at it through a lens of trauma and communication. So I think the ladies and I had a really fun conversation, and the guys are just reintegrating that conversation for you all to hear in this video. Let me just ask what to look out for the month of November. They're giving me the word blindsided. So you want to watch out for people or situations where you feel blindsided and have an impulse to react. So if something pops up that you were not expecting, and they're showing for you tuning into these videos, it could be relationship, it could be financial, it could be world, it could be really anything in your life, career, whatever you feel kind of blindsided by. You didn't see it coming, but all of a sudden it showed up in your space and you have to deal with it now. What the guides are saying is be careful not to act out on impulses if you feel blindsided. Take a breather, take a step back, ask for time and space to let the energy settle, let yourself marinate, and go back to what are you really trying to create here for yourself or in this relationship. So if you feel blindsided in any way, shape, or form, hopefully these words will come back to you just to take a pause and request that pause for yourself or the situation before any rash decisions or actions are made. Let me see if there's anything else that's helpful for you, the collective, to know about November 2023. They're bringing it in the word space. So taking the space to have time for yourself, have time to tap into your creative energy, have time to tap into your self-love. They're wanting you to create some space, some extra space, some buffer time and energy for the entire month of November, because it feels like it's going to be you're going to be easily pulled into go, the next thing, that got to get this done. And all of that's great. And all that can be exciting. But if you don't have enough space for your mind and your body to play catch up to what's going on energy wise, it can be a really rough recouping period is what I'm hearing. So just give yourself extra space, a little extra buffer, maybe extra time, extra money for things, extra energy, extra time to sleep, downtime for yourself. Just giving yourself more space will bring you a lot of success for November, and you'll feel like you have the energy to carry into December, where I'm hearing things will continue to move fast. So you don't want to burn yourself out for November. You want to have the energy to have that sustain for you for the rest of the year. And obviously we're coming into the holidays. So again, giving yourself that buffer space, time, money, finances, etc. See if there's any last messages before we close out for the session. And just the last thing is never forget your power. You get to create this world. You are the co-creator and you are incredibly creative. And if you connect in with that beautiful life force energy that you innately have, that inner heart wisdom, you are going to be extremely successful for this month. So that is what I have to share for November. Ladies, any final thoughts or comments that you'd like to share with those tuning in? No? Okay. Very cool. Well, we enjoy, of course, when you get to tune into our videos. We appreciate your comments, your likes, your shares, and let us know how our videos are supporting you, if they've been helpful, what resonates, and just where you're at. We love to support you any way we can. Feel free to connect with any of us with the information down below. We all have different classes and readings and ways to connect. So feel free to reach out and explore that. Otherwise, we will see you next month for December. Enjoy the rest of your month. Bye.